Hi, my name is Christina and I am the Scarlet Feminist. This is the debut of my video blog. I'm starting this as a protest against the onslaught of anti-woman legislation. Some of the legislation I'm protesting include federal bills, including H.R. Bill 3, which is sponsored by Chris Smith, Republican, New Jersey. Is better known as the No Taxpayer Funding for Abortion Act, which is already problematic because there is no taxpayer funding for abortion. It wants to put a nationwide prohibition on government funding for abortion. More specifically, it takes comprehensive private health insurance away from millions of American women, and it puts tax penalties on individual women and businesses that purchase comprehensive private health insurance coverage. Private as in this is their own money. It also takes away existing coverage protections for women with life-threatening pregnancies. That means that if they're going to die because they're pregnant, if their bodies can't take the strain, or if they're going to die in childbirth, it doesn't matter. They can't have an abortion. They're going to die. Another one is H.R. Bill 358, which is sponsored by Joe Pitts, a Republican in Pennsylvania. It wants to ban abortion coverage in state-based health insurance plans, which will be established under the new health care law. It would allow doctors to override the requirement to treat a woman who's in danger of losing her life if the treatment would endanger her pregnancy. So even if this is not an abortion she was seeking, in a life-threatening pregnancy, if this was just a treatment that might endanger her fetus, she would still be denied this, even if it means her death. Another one is H.R. Bill 217, which is sponsored by Mike Pence, a Republican in Indiana. This seeks to ban health centers across the country, Planned Parenthood most especially, from receiving federal funding for preventative care. It does this by prohibiting them from receiving Title X funds, which are federal funds. These are non-abortion funds. These go into annual exams like Pap smears for women, cancer screenings, cervical and breast cancer screenings among them, contraceptive services like IUDs, birth control, handing out condoms, and the testing and treatment of STIs, sexually transmitted infections. The funding is called, again, the Title X Family Planning Program. It's been available since 1970. It provides basic preventive health care to 5 million women a year, and these women consider this their main and only source of health care. So this is very important. I live in Ohio. I am broadcasting from Ohio. And some of the proposed Ohio bills, and these aren't all of them. In the time I've taken to research for all of these bills, there have been more that have been introduced. One of these is the Heartbeat Bill, which is sponsored by Republican Lynn Walkman of District 75. It was announced February 9th, and its goal is to ban abortion from the moment a fetus's heartbeat is detected, which can be as early as 3 weeks, 18 days. Most women don't even know they're pregnant at 18 days. Ohio, unfortunately, is the first state to consider a bill that's this restrictive. And if it passes, I guarantee more states are going to follow in its footsteps. House Bill 7 was actually proposed by a Democrat, Lorraine Fendy. It seeks to ban late-term abortions, which are usually after 24 weeks, or earlier if tests can prove that the fetus could live outside of the womb. It has an exception that if the continuation of the pregnancy poses a physical threat to the mother, that she can have that abortion, but this does not take in the psychological effects. So if a woman was raped and they won't even think about that, they don't factor that in. There's another one that's similar. It's House Bill 78. This is sponsored by Republicans Joseph Uecker, District 66, and Christina Regner, District 42, and it would revise criminal laws governing post-viability abortions. Basically, it wants to ban abortion after 20 weeks of pregnancy when the fetus is viable. And if you're on birth control, which many women are on hormonal birth control, you may not know that you're pregnant at 20 weeks. House Bill 63 is sponsored by Republicans Ron Young of District 63 and Lynn Slaby of District 41, and Senate Bill 8, which is sponsored by Tim Grendel, Republican District 18, and Karen Gilmore, District 26. Both want to put further restrictions on minors attempting to judicially, going through a judge, bypass parental consent for an abortion. This would be a problem for young women who are afraid that they would be forced to carry a baby, basically be a living incubator, or for young girls who are afraid of being beaten or maybe even killed for being pregnant and wanting an abortion. House Bill 79 is sponsored by Republicans Danny Bubb of District 88 and Joe Uecker, District 66, and it wants to prohibit abortion coverage in health insurance plans offered by the state under the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. Basically, it doesn't want you to have an abortion option, period. Again, there's more in the time I've taken to research this blog. That's not all of them by any stretch of the imagination. And that's only including Ohio and federal bills. There are so many different state bills going around. There was a bill in South Dakota, actually, that was changing wording of justifiable homicide so that it would include doctors performing abortions. It would be legal to shoot someone giving a woman a legal abortion that she wanted. Whether you're pro-life or pro-choice, you know that the answer is not cutting safe and legal abortion or access to factual information or access to reproductive health services and family planning. A lack of access to information only breeds ignorance, and ignorance obviously is only going to lead to disease and violence. A lack of access to information only leads to unhealthy practices, unsafe practices, and unhealthy people as a result of this. Cutting off the choice and access to safe and legal abortion is not the answer. I think everyone can agree on that. This doesn't stop women from getting abortions. Historically, we know this will not stop women who want or need abortions from getting them. History has proven, if women don't have access to a safe or legal abortion, they're still going to have one. They're going to resort to dangerous and unsanitary measures, coat hangers, wire coat hangers, to scratch the lining of the uterus so that they can have an abortion induced. Going to back alleys, going to unclean and disgusting conditions to have an abortion by someone who's probably not even a doctor. If they're lucky, they might be a veterinary technician or someone with some type of medical background, someone who didn't just look up how to do an abortion online. These just end up killing women and the fetus. So, I think we can all agree that cutting off access to abortion is not the way to reduce abortion. The way to reduce abortion is by finding out why these women are getting abortions. Is it that they don't have money for contraception? Is it that they don't have access to information? They think... Basically, I'm trying to say that the only way to stop abortion, period, is by spreading information and making sure that women understand their bodies and they understand how they can get pregnant. Basically, women, we are not stupid and we are not inferior. We deserve respect and we deserve safety via agency over our own bodies and our own decisions. We need to be treated with integrity and respect. When a nation's women are treated with respect and they're safe and they're healthy and they know that their nation cares for them, that nation thrives. I stand with and for women everywhere.